So I don't know about you, but I'm kind of like really tired of going onto Instagram and then scrolling through tons and tons of adverts, ultimately promising you, seven-figure incomes if you follow my program or you follow my secret sauce or my formula or whatever it is. And the thing that bothers me the most about it is obviously everyone has the right to advertise their product, but what sort of bothers me a little bit about it is that for somebody with ADHD, chasing money as like your primary motivator or your primary goal is never going to get you there, because that's not what keeps you motivated and keeps you energized. And not that I want to demonize making money, because ultimately money is a commodity, is a vehicle. It helps you get lots of other things. It gives you freedom of choice, gives you freedom to invest in your business, to expand, to grow, to have a good work-life balance, and all those great and wonderful things that having money produces. But what I think happens with people who get sucked into that, they start a business obviously doing something that really resonates with them, that they love doing. And then maybe they reach a plateau and they want to grow, and maybe they're getting frustrated because they aren't growing like they want to grow. And then they see this ad that says, follow my formula and you can make seven figures, or you can make within 30 days, you can double your revenue, or whatever those promises are that you see in these adverts. And then I think what tends to happen, and this is the fatal error, is that suddenly as an ADHD entrepreneur, you start shifting your focus away from what gives you your energy and what truly motivates you to making money, because suddenly now your whole sort of attention is shifted to this promise of making seven figures, and it's generally a marketing tool. Your mind suddenly starts shifting from that goal that really kept you energized and motivated to now making money, and then it sort of doesn't get you where you need to go. I would really want to remind entrepreneurs and founders and business owners who are ADHD that what gets you motivated and going is not chasing money. It really isn't. I've fallen into that trap myself, so I know of what I speak. But this is why I created a framework that helps you stay motivated. The acronym is MOTIVATE: memorable, outcome, tangible, interest-based, value-oriented, accessible, time-based, and what excites or energizes you. And I'll talk you through them so that you can see what they do. But also, just by the by, I was reading the newspaper yesterday and I saw an article which basically said Britain boasts more highly valued private companies than almost anywhere else in the world. And the country ranks far ahead of any European state and beats Japan, South Korea, and Canada by a wide margin. And the only countries do better than us, is US, China, and India. And Britain is home to 65 so-called unicorns, businesses valued at $1 billion or more. And these include things like the mobile bank Revolut, checkout.com, finance specialists, Brewdog, Gymshark, Panda, Gusto, and Huel, as well as pet insurance companies. You might ask, well, why am I bringing this up? The reason I'm bringing it up is that I'm pretty convinced, not that I know for an absolute fact, because I don't mix in those circles, but I'm pretty convinced that these people who are mentioning, all those companies that have stayed true to their goal and haven't veered off in suddenly there's a lovely shiny new object somewhere else and let me jump there and let me quickly do something that's going to generate me a seven figure. And I think sometimes it just takes that steadfast, staying focused, staying clear, that's going to get you where you need to go. And the good thing about living in the UK, it is a very entrepreneurial friendly country in the sense that people support entrepreneurs. It's an entrepreneurial culture. So there's a lot out there that can help you and support you. The reason why I created the Motivate framework as opposed to maybe a more traditional goal setting that you might have come across elsewhere is essentially the normal typical goal assumes that you think like everybody else, but it doesn't. You don't as an ADHD, and so you need something that is a little bit different. So traditional goal setting systems like SMART, for example, they miss the nuance of ADHD because they assume consistency in motivation. They don't account for shifting interest or fluctuating energy, and they don't prioritize structure over they prioritize structure over self-connection. So this is just the framework, follow it, and it doesn't matter if it really connects with you. So that's why I built this framework. If we start at the top, And the first acronym when you're looking at your goals is it needs to be memorable. And what I mean by memorable is it needs to be sticky. You need to like attach a visual, a metaphor, a personal story, a vision board, whatever that makes it unforgettable for you. And you need to ask yourself, what is the story behind this goal? What symbol or phrase captures it so I never lose track? Then it does need to be outcome based, because obviously you need a goal that takes you down a path, and you want something that is outcome based. So you need to ask yourself, what will I have accomplished when this is complete? What will change in my business or life when I achieve it? Then when you look at tangible, it needs to be real, and it needs to be something that you can track and you can see or you can touch. So you need to ask yourself, how will I know I've made progress? And what specific data, result, or action will show I'm on the path? Then interest-based. So you are not fueled as an ADHDer by the shoulds or the must-dos. That's not what's going to give you fuel and get you on what you need to do. It's powered by interest. So your goals need to align with curiosity, creativity, or passion. So ask yourself, what part of this goal excites me? What personal interest does this connect to me? And how am I connected to this goal? Equally, it needs to be value oriented. So when a goal aligns with core values, you're more likely to follow through with it, even during the tough times. So ask yourself, why does this matter to me beyond the result? How does this goal reflect who I want to be, or who I want to become, or who I am even? It needs to be accessible. So if it's out of reach, basically becomes avoidable ultimately for an ADHD. It's kind of forgettable. You won't stay committed to it. So you need to make sure that your goal feels achievable within the resources and support you have or that you can get. And the kind of questions you should ask yourself is, what can I do this week to move closer? Or what needs to be simplified? What can I outsource? How can I be supported to achieve this? It does need to be time bound, even though as an ADHDer, we often struggle with time blindness. So you need to create clear timelines that work with your energy and focus, not against them. The way you can do that is you can set micro goals within a larger time frame, and then pinpoint how will you notice that you've achieved X by X time. So what is that next deadline, or what is the milestone that I know that I'm working towards my goals? You also finally need to get something that excites and energizes you. So your brain wants goals that spark something inside of you. So look for the fire, that dopamine hit, that one that's going to get the heart fluttering, and ask yourself, what part of this goal excites me, and what can I do to keep the energy alive? Because when you have something that excites and energizes you, it will help you to move through the friction when there is friction. And if you look at the Motivate framework and your goals, you will ultimately see that none of it, well, I suppose you could have a goal, make $1 million by the end of the year, but I suppose if you follow through with this and go through all the different acronyms and different features, and if you can truly answer them in a way that's positive and gives you that dopamine rush that you need, that gives you that energy that you need, that's linked to your interest-based nervous system, that energizes you, that excites you, and if you can honestly, hand on heart say, well, all of these fit the bill. If I put my goal is make $1 million by the end of the year, then go for it. But I would suspect that somebody with ADHD, that there is another goal that is lying underneath it, and making money would just be maybe an outcome. That's sort of how you can measure that you've achieved the goal, is by making that money or having X amount in the bank. That really is a sub goal. And I think if you work on these, you will find yourself not being as easily tempted to sway to do something else or be distracted from something else, because it will kind of keep you on track. I would love to hear from you and find out how it's going. And if you want any more advice, or you to understand a bit more about what I can do to help you, then please follow me on Instagram or LinkedIn, look at my website, or book a call with me, and then we can chat about how I can help you. Okay, see you next time.